I'm Kimberly Friedmutter, a Las Vegas resident for a little more than a decade. I first came to Las Vegas in 2009 after meeting my husband Brad Friedmutter, a well-known architect who established himself here in Las Vegas more than 40 years ago. In fact, former Mayor Oscar Goodman officiated our wedding. As a hypnotist and best-selling author of Subconscious Power, Use Your Inner Mind to Create the Life You've Always Wanted, Las Vegas was the perfect home for me because many of my friends and clients either live here or have established residencies in Las Vegas at some point. It was funny because when I first moved to Las Vegas and it would come up in conversation that I'm a hypnotist, most people would automatically ask when and where my show is, so I would have to explain that it's clinical hypnosis, as in hypnotherapy, not to be confused with stage show hypnosis. As a mental health care professional, my introduction into fundraising and charity was all made possible because of Las Vegas being so appealing and an accessible world stage, especially with the Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health. I wanted to contribute to this video series because it's always a good time to feel better. Even when times are great, we can simply use our minds to elevate our performance. We are what we think, and my hope for you is good mental health and well-being. People often ask, what is hypnotic trance, and is it going to make me do something that I wouldn't normally do, or, is it more like meditation? And so it's kind of interesting because trance is a natural state of being. It's 100% organic, 100% sustainable, 100% natural, and it is part of naturally who we are. So if you think about in terms of when you wake up in the morning and that kind of floaty feeling when you're not quite conscious and you're not quite unconscious, or the same thing when you're going to bed at night and you're just starting to lull or drift off to sleep, that's the state of trance. In fact, in the day it was called like temple sleep, and so it's really like sleeping with the gods, so to speak. So it's a natural part of us that is our subconscious. So we're double-minded. We have our conscious and then we have our subconscious. The subconscious, meaning just below the surface, is just below the surface of the conscious mind. So your conscious mind is the part of you that goes out and is your task maker, it's your calendar keeper, and takes your meetings and keeps you on track throughout the day. Your subconscious is the other part of you. It's more like the you inside of you. If you can feel what that feels like, the real you, the soulful you, that primitive, primal part of you. And so it's our habits, it's our addictions, good or bad. It is our emotions, good or bad. It's our belief system, it's our symbolism, it's all of the things that we have faith in. It really is that part of us that makes us who we are individually. And so I wanted to share with you a couple of self-hypnotic hacks, I call them. And I call them hacks because they're super, super fast and easy to do anywhere, provided that you're not driving or operating any heavy machinery. That's my disclaimer. So anyway, if you're feeling like anxious or depressed, or you can't get to sleep, maybe you woke up in the middle of the night and your mind is going, that would be your conscious mind going, right? So that you can distinguish between the two. Go ahead and focus on a place in front of you. So you can be anywhere when you do this. You can actually even be driving, although I don't recommend it. You can be reading, you can be doing anything at all. You look at a spot in front of you and you focus on that spot. And then allow your eyesight to diffuse. So that means soften your gaze, soften your eyesight, and allow your eyesight to drift to either side of you. So in other words, if I do my fingers like this, I can now still be looking at that focal point in front of me, but I can still see now using my peripheral vision. The idea is it broadens your scope. You're no longer monofocally focused. You're looking out and you're seeing this diffused focus, right? So let's say that you're having a bad day, or you're having a panic attack, or you're having anxiety, or whatever that thing is. Maybe you're just negative, like looping into some old emotion or a story that you think is going to happen, or a story maybe in the past that did happen. What you want to do is put your tongue at the top of your mouth. So normally our tongue rests on our lower palate. If you feel the way your tongue, it's just like that. So you place it to the top, the roof of your mouth, and then you go into your peripheral vision. So you'll quickly look at a spot, let your vision diffuse. So now I can see both of my hands. I can see them way out here. although I'm still looking at my focal point. And that move, that physical motion, will not allow a negative emotion to connect any longer. You can't think of two things at one time. You can't have a negative emotion and be in peripheral vision at the same time. So when you do this, you'll automatically feel better. This also works great for if you're awake in the middle of the night. Let's just say that you had a nightmare or something is bothering you and you're looping into these negative emotions. You can lay there with your eyes closed and you can literally create that focal point, allow your eyesight to diffuse. You still have your eyes closed, but when you do it, you'll see that you can do it. And then all of a sudden you'll feel relaxed and you'll feel calm and you'll float back to sleep. It's kind of the same thing as when they say to count sheep, because my sheep go from right to left and they hop over a fence. I don't know what your sheep do, but that's what my sheep do. But that motion of this is the same basic thing. If you think of like the common kind of feeling of a hypnotist where they have a swinging watch and it's like back and forth and back and forth, it's to lull the conscious mind out of the way and to sleep, so to speak, so that the subconscious can hear and change whatever behavior is happening during your hypnosis session. Okay, that's that. For anxiety, depression, upset, frustration, any negative emotion whatsoever, you can literally create that focal point, let your eyesight go into periphery, and then just enjoy it from there on. The second thing would be, because we're getting ready for reemergence into the world again after COVID, and so the next thing would be manifesting a goal. Now, this is really great for any time of year. It doesn't have to be for now. It can be any time at all, and it can be any goal. That's the beauty of it. It can be a sporting goal. It can be a personal goal. It can be a relationship goal. It can be like a work goal, career goal. It can be anything at all. So what you'll do is, I say, really starting every hypnotic hack, to close your eyes and go within. I'm keeping my eyes open because I'm going to show you, but you can close your eyes now and just close your eyes. And going within simply means getting back in touch with you, settling in, centering yourself, getting aligned. So closing your eyes and going within. I want you to imagine that thing that you want. What's that goal? What is it? Maybe it's a great grade on your school paper. Maybe it's, another promotion at work. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, small or big. It can be painting the inside of the garage. It doesn't matter what it is. And anything that you feel like apathy towards and then you want to feel active towards. It can be apathy to action. It can be anything just to get it going. Get yourself inspired. So think of that thing. And see yourself doing that thing. So maybe you're back here from perspective and you're watching yourself do it. Looks good, doesn't it? So now imagine enjoying doing that thing. So you feel real pleasure from it. It brings you joy to do this. It feels good. Good. Maybe you see people around you smiling. Maybe people in your family are looking at you, or your work colleagues are looking at you and they're smiling, they're happy. You're getting some feedback. You're getting a little bit of joy coming back at you from people who are proud of you for doing this. It feels good. And you have group compliance. Everybody's happy that you're doing this. Now imagine yourself doing this, but in Technicolor. I want you to really make that visual bright, almost like a cartoon. Literally, like it's bright, like loud. It's beyond. It's colors that you couldn't even hardly imagine. Imagine those now, really like popping. So you're imagining yourself doing this thing, but we're putting it in Technicolor. Everything is bright and vivid. And turn up the sounds on it. What does it sound like while you're doing this? Bump up that sound so it's loud. What does it smell like? Smell whatever that smell is and smell it more. If it smells like your office workplace, great. Let it smell like that. Just smell it more. Hear what it sounds like. Feel what it smells like. Feel what it tactile feels like. Like if you're on your computer, what does it feel like? The keys of the board. Everything is super sensory. Everything is bumped up. Everything is like really elevated. And of course, your visuals are Technicolor now. And now when the people around you are seeing you do this thing, I want them to stand and they're applauding. They're literally making physical noise. They're applauding. They're happy for you. And you're happy for you. And you look around and you see all of the support around you. They're nodding yes. Very good. And you're nodding yes back. Take a bow. You did it. Take a bow. Very good. Lock in that feeling. What does that feel like? Feel the appreciation that you're doing something magnificent. They're noticing. It feels really, really good. And as you do that, now come back into your body. Open your eyes. And that is your manifesting a goal. What's happening here is it's easier to do things once they're already done. It's easier to follow a path than to lead that path. So what you've done virtually is created that event already. You've already done it. So now that you've done it, simply following those steps and putting the physical action behind it is relatively easy. And how do you feel? Do you feel good now? Do you feel energized now? Do you feel like you did it and it wasn't so hard? Do you feel like you accomplished it and it was the right thing to do? Very good. So that's the manifesting a goal hypnotic hack. What happens is our mind, everything really is just neck up. Our getting stuck in something and our inability to move forward, our procrastination, all of those things that trip us up when it comes to goal setting and actually achieving that can simply be just eased by doing it first in your mind, because that's where it's all going to come from anyway. And so I hope you've enjoyed your time. Understand that trance is your friend. It's who you are inside. It's the same thing as like watching a kitten play with a yarn ball. It's the same thing as watching maybe the flames dancing on a fire pit, or when you drive and you drive for those last 5 miles and you don't remember where you were and you don't remember really driving. That's trance, and it's the best friend that you can ever have. It's your primal instinct. It's your gut. It's the part of you that makes you you.